when it comes down to it, like you said a very key point when you said saturation. When it comes to it, as things is very oversaturated right now when it comes to the space. And I feel as though like the oversaturation that we have currently right now within the music space has led to a decline in quality, so to speak. Now, a lot of people, and I've seen somebody make a very valid point where it says not music overall that's dying or hip hop overall that's dying, is more so dying on the mainstream level. Like the music industry part of it or the music business part of it is the part that's dying. When it comes to the art form itself, it's not going anywhere. And I can kind of agree with that at the same time. But when it boils down to it, like it has become so accessible for people to make music these days. It's like people aren't really taking the art for what it's really supposed to be meant for. And then I remember one time, like a few years ago, I had a conversation with somebody that came right out and said it. You know, I gotta, credit the guy because he was honest about it. But he said, I'm only really using hip hop as a way to get in the door. I'm not really a real hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying? But you have that kind of space out here nowadays where people are kind of allowing that to happen. And so I kind of feel as though like when you have these kind of situations happening where people are just using this as a doorway to step through and get to what it is that they're trying to do, I think that kind of contributes also to the overall decline and what we've been seeing in the quality of music or hip hop to be exact. You know what I'm saying? So like the conversation whether or not hip hop is dead, that's one of those that's kind of like subjective. Everybody has their opinion when it comes down to it. But I really do feel as though like on a commercial level, we're starting to see a decline because everybody has been so adapted to this whole microwave way of doing things that's like it's not giving no real substance anymore. So you got a lot of people coming back and they're looking for the pure form of the art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I saw a video today. It was Big Daddy Kane was talking, and he says the gap. He was talking about basically, I guess about the time the Lil Waynes, the maybe the J. Cole's, I forget the other name he threw out there, but it was like around in that time when those guys was coming out. Those are like maybe the last generation of when people was getting into hip hop that got into it to be dope MCs. You know what I mean? Like after that, man, like with technology, the entry level has gotten so low to get in the, before you had to be pretty nice before somebody to even pay attention to you or listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you wasn't like somewhere up here, you had to be saying a little bit of something. Nobody wouldn't even listen to you. Now the entry level is just so low that anybody with a computer and a program can call themselves an MC and get in here, and then you can get on these streaming platforms and put out your trash music and have absolutely no substance and not really know the history of the art form as far as, 70s, 80s, 90s. When you got into hip hop, you got into it because you wanted to be dope. You wanted to be nice, considered nice. You wanted to have fly rhymes and be able to, just have a certain thing in your craft. And when it was time to do your thing on the mic, you had some slick shit to say. Now it's about vibes and people don't care about rhyming. They just try to set a vibe. And I'm not opposed to the vibe thing, but it's really taken away from the original art form of give me a mic, give me a beat, and let me be able to say something. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, the entry level is just so low that anybody can get into this, and then they can turn around and upload this music, and now you're right next to Jay-Z, and now you're right next to Eminem's and all of these and you ain't saying a damn thing, man. You just might have a cool beat, or maybe you got some cool equipment or whatever, or maybe you got some kind of voice thing on your voice. It's something like that. But when you break it down, and what is this person saying? What are they contributing? What kind of craftsmanship do they have with their skill? It's just kind of out the window now, man. People just get in here and do what they want to do, and like you say, People say they get in here as an entry point to go do other things. Again, we came from a time when we first started making music where the music business was enough. It was paying people very well. You know what I mean? It was paying these artists, like they come out, drop CDs, man. If your CD take off, you were getting paid. They had big budgets and things like that. Now, I mean, it's just not the case. I understand why somebody would get into music. I mean, even for us, like, we realized a long time ago that the music side is not going to pay any bills. Like, we're not paying a lot of bills anyways, but when it comes to the money, we make our money through shows, through merch, things like that. It's not just music sales. And then the way these DSPs are paying people, where you got to have 1 million streams to make $7, man, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's my take on it. I mean, at the end of the day, I just think they've made the entry point so low that the fact that anybody can get in and doing it is just really watering the whole thing down.
I agree with you. And it's very interesting you just said that too, man, because that's something that I stress to a lot of people, a lot of artists in particular that comes onto this platform, is that you can't rely solely on your music to carry you to the heights that you want to do. Like, the music is a good thing to use as nowadays as a promotional tool for everything else that you got going on. Like, you look at what Nipsey Hussle was doing, rest in peace to him, where, he was using his music also as other ways, for like his merch and other stuff that he had going on. And it's like, you see the artists that get it, they're using their music to bring you to their content that they're doing, bring you to their merchandise that they're doing. Like you said, you're not getting paid off of the music these days. You're getting paid more for the shows, getting on stage, going up there and perform, doing stuff like that, getting out there, touching the people. And a lot of people are not realizing that, and they still opt to go with a lot of these streaming platforms and then complain about their music not going nowhere,
Yeah, man. I mean, even still, like I was saying, like I'm sure you've seen, like a lot of the people that came up when we were younger, they still out here touring, getting that money because they know how to get on the stage and actually say something and rock a crowd. Like, where like a lot of these newer artists, again, it's just that vibe thing, man, and it's just not working. And if they don't have enough sense to to have other means of income, like I say, through merch, or, if you can't get nobody to your show, I mean, you might have had a little hit, some little radio hit, but it's microwave, man. These fans that like these little microwave hits now, in 5-10 years, they'll be on to something new. So these artists that, they might pop today, but in 2-3 years, they try to go do a show somewhere. People don't care about that. They don't care about them. They don't even know them. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. It's at the end of the day, for me, I think it all comes back to doing it for the right reasons. Do it because you love it, not because you trying to get paid or get rich, or because it shows, man. It shows. You can hear it in the music, and a lot of these younger fans, they're kind of naive. They don't understand it. They just don't get it, and you see things a lot differently as you get older. So it's very microwave, man. So what's hot today, and particularly like today and these days and times, what's hot today won't even be a thing tomorrow. Definitely not 5-10 years from now.
I agree with that one. That's another point where I would tell artists, especially these artists out here today, I tell them all the time, do not chase the trends that you see going on out here. You should be chasing the idea of making timeless music, because the trend is only going to be hot these days, like you said, like maybe for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're making music that is timeless, then you can be like these older artists out here, the ones that came before us. You can be like them, and you can still go and, tour off your catalog alone from hits that you had from like 10 years ago, because you made music that was timeless. It doesn't fit within a specific time frame. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of people don't get that concept when it comes down to it, so they still want to do the popular thing. And then when you look at it right now, all these people that are popular, that are not putting out music with a lot of substance right now, I bet you in about 5 years or so, if Love and Hip Hop is still around, that's where you're going to see them at. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see them being able to go out there and go perform the music that they got because it's only hot for right now. People are not going to want to hear that 5 years from now. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree, man. I totally agree. I mean, that's why I'm so happy to see the guys from our generation, like basically kind of like rewriting this whole ageism rule book and all of that, man. You know, they try to put a cap on the age limit. Like there's no other music genre in the world that put an age limit on it except for hip hop. And we're currently going through, you know, a undoing of that. I mean, some of the hottest, most respected artists out here today are older cats that have been out. I mean, I gotta say, probably 2025 hip hop is probably one of the best years in hip hop in 30 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you know, just the people that have come out in the past year probably was all out 25, 30 years ago, but they came back. They brought that sound back. They brought, you know, that original traditional sound. But I mean, of course they're using technology and you know, but a lot of these guys haven't just totally thrown away what they originally did, you know what I mean? And you still got these fans that, for one, older fans actually have money, you know what I'm saying? 18 and 20-year-olds, they don't really have even money to spend on your merch and things like that, you know what I mean? And if, you know, you 18 and 20, you making that music now, this microwave music that can't get played in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like, you better get it now and save it up. That's all I can say, man. And because it's just like it goes back to that timeless music. If you ain't making that timeless music something that can has any kind of replay value, man, your time is limited.
That's a fact.
The most recognized source of hip-hop and R&B on the planet. This is the EMillio EgBar Show. Real hip-hop and R&B.